Before me you see the YZMP630. This is a 5-in-1, okay, they call it a 5-in-1 multi-tool. It's got a brush whacker and a weed eater that go on this one. And then there is a hedge trimmer. And this thing is kind of cool because it can mount, or it can articulate into several different positions. So I actually look forward to kind of toying with that. It comes with a tree limb saw with a 10-inch bar and a semi-chisel chain. And then it has an extension. And of course, the power head. So this is a 63cc power head, which as far as I know is the largest tool of its kind, the largest cc's. It produces 3.5 horsepower. I did a whole unboxing video, had forgotten that I'd been shooting in time-lapse for the tiny house, and the camera was still in time-lapse, so the unboxing, well, it didn't go so well. So anyway, I'm redoing this to with it already unboxed. The assembly was fairly straightforward. This shaft had to be bolted onto the power head. The power head came with nothing attached to it. You had to hook up the kill wire and the throttle linkage, but that was real simple, straightforward in there. And then this was 4 bolts. Plug that on. The shafts have a solid 3/8 shaft in them with a spline on one end and then a pocket on the other end with the splines on the inside. And the connections, you loosen that and this little black thing pops up, and then there's a thumb hole that you can push down, and that raises the pin that hooks into the next one. Here, this one's not got a boot on it, so there's like a hole here, so that pin sits down into that hole. So you not only have to get the splines aligned, but you have to get the little thing to hit the hole. So you kind of have to wrestle with it a little bit. Let's see if I can. Yeah, see, you got to get those splines to align. Once they align, it locks in. You push that down and tighten this back down, and that keeps it from accidentally being bumped and coming loose. You can't hit the trigger. So actually we're going to be doing this with the full extension on it today. I'm going to take it out and show you what it can do. Now, that was part of the deal, is that when I got this thing, I was like, oh cool, you know, but everything outside was ice. Well, today is the second day of 2 days of 50-degree weather, so most of the ice is all gone, and we're supposed to get 3 to 5 inches tomorrow. So I'm trying to get this video made today, and I'm going to show you what it'll do. Now, this thing, I did get to go out and kind of wax and brush with it. The blade here, yes, it will work, it will do the job, but there are better ones on the market for it. And it just so happens that when my friend Mike sent me those 2 chainsaws, you'll remember back some videos ago, that he sent me several other things, including the Razor Max blades. So these things are cool as hell. They got chainsaw teeth on blade. They're made to go on exactly this tool, or this type of tool. So anyway, this is something that Yuzhoukee actually contacted me after the 2 chainsaws and said, would you be interested in doing a unboxing and review of this? And I was like, sure, why not? And there's a lock, set of pins or set of holes here that you can put an Allen wrench in and lock it. And then it comes with a squinch with a Phillips head on it. And then you can get this off, ideally. That's the wrong hole. Or I wasn't in all the way. Oh, that's the only hole in there. Okay, I did this the other day, it worked just fine. We're going to take this blade off and put that Razor Max on there. There we go. I was turning it the wrong way, of course. Now I'm not sure which way this darn thing turns. Well, we'll put the writing up and see what happens. I guess I can always flip it if I have to. Damn opposed threads. There it is. It is possible to get the wrench trapped, the Allen wrench, so you got to kind of pull it out just a little bit when you do the final tightening. Now use a smaller Allen wrench probably. There we go. Anyway, we'll try this guy out. We will try out the limb saw. We will try out the hedge trimmer. All today in this video, so that you can see whether it's worth your time and money to purchase one. There will be links in the description both to eBay and Amazon. And we'll get them tested out and see what we think. I can tell you this, I've had it started running. This dude's got some torque, but you'll see that here in a little bit. So let me get on to that. Okay, well hopefully the wind is not too much and you guys can't hear me. But we've got the saw on there, and we're going to take some limbs off of this tree that's got to come down come spring. So turn on the choke. There's a one of the little fuel bubbles on the bottom of the carb. Let's try out one of the other toys on it. Okay, I've got the brush cutter head on it now, and I've got some saplings in this fence line that gotta go. So we're gonna clear them out. Because of those vines, I'm going to have to cut from the other side too. Alright, so now we got the pruning shear on there. And with the flick of a button, it'll mount in just about any position. It's got a little gear head on here that these teeth grab into. I'm going to put it about right there because I'm going to be using it kind of like a weed eater. Because this is not the time of year for me to be trimming our hedges. There I am bumping that kill switch again. So yeah, that makes short work of tall grass. Some of the bigger weeds it won't handle because the opening isn't big enough, but I think it would cut it if the opening were big enough. All in all, doesn't seem to be a bad little tool. Let me meet you back up at the shop and we'll have some final thoughts on it. Well, I gotta say I'm fairly impressed. I mean, here on the farm, our main weed eater is a 25cc Husqvarna. I also have a couple of Craftsman, Craftsman weed eaters. They're kind of junk, but they're older too, so got them used. Anyway, the Husqvarna does great, and I have a brush cutting attachment for it. But you know, you have to, the brush I was taking out of that fence line, you'd have to hit it 2 or 3 times to get, you know, through a 1-inch piece. This thing was going right through it. Maybe in part that's due to the chainsaw teeth on this blade, because the other one has like looks like a skill saw blade on it. But still, that was this 63 cc's. Now, downsides to it, that's 15 pounds right there. Without this J handle and just the shaft with this and the hand and the throttle control, that's 15 pounds. Then you're adding, you know, 2 or 3 pounds depending on which attachment you're running on it. And the strap, it has a nice pad for your hip where it's riding against you, but there is no pad on the arm strap. And it also has this strap which is to go around you and buckle, so it holds it to your waist. But without any kind of pad on this, it's kind of an uncomfortable booger. So there could be an improvement there. Outside of that, the kill switch, I kept bumping it. It's right here by the throttle. Now, that's a good thing because it's easy to shut it off in an emergency or when you're done or whatever. But it's also a bad thing because it's right there where you're going to bump it with your hand. And that's what I was doing out there. The throttle on this one, although the book says it's a fingertip throttle, like you would see on most weed eaters where you pull it and when you let go it dies down, this is a dead set throttle. So wherever you put it, it stays there. That's kind of scary, but at the same time it's very handy, like especially when you're using the trim saw. You can just gun it up there and go from limb to limb and not worry about having to gun it back up. This hedge cutter, I can hardly wait to actually get it onto some hedge branches, but it was going through the grass out there with no problem, and smaller weeds. So the smaller weeds are about the same consistency of the hedge branches. But in the wintertime, it's hard to judge where to cut the hedges because there's no leaves on them. So I'm not going to do that yet. But overall, I'm impressed. It's a ballsy machine, and I'm sure it will become an asset here on the farm. So I don't know. Look into it, judge for yourself. But it's got my vote of approval. Did want to point out that the oil tank on here does have a adjustable oiler underneath of it, so you can actually adjust it and let it get more oil in colder weather or less in warm weather. So there is that as well. There was one other thing I was going to point out about it, and I don't recall what it was now. Oh, as I discovered when I was switching out tools out there in the field, you don't have to push that down to get it to click in, but you have to push it down to get it back out. So they do slide in once you've got the splines aligned right. It slides in and then you just kind of turn it until it clicks so that little pin drops in the hole. So they must be triangular shaped back in there. But anyway, yeah. Oh, when they come to you, they come with these little boots on the end. Save those. The shafts will drop. They won't come all the way out, but they'll drop down. Well, actually, they will come all the way out, but it's unlikely that you're going to have it drop that far if you are paying attention. But anyway, the shafts will come out unexpectedly, so if you put these boots on back on them when you're done with them, you won't have that issue. And this thing is so modular though. I mean, I can take an old gun rack and stick up on my shop wall and put all of the attachments into it and then hang this next to it, and bam, I've got a nice little organized area for it. I'm probably going to have to make something like that. I don't actually have a gun rack right now. Anyway, so there you go, guys. Definitely look into it. It's, I think it's a worthwhile machine. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed.